1, 2, there it is, went live. Good evening, everybody. Chocolate milk, you know, you gotta have the hard stuff. Anybody that knows me knows I drink the hard stuff. Hey, Billy, what's going on? Kind of let a few people get up in here. I hadn't went live on my page in quite a while, but I want to talk about not just really today what happened in Virginia, but what's going to happen tomorrow. What's going to happen the day after, the month after. You know, I commend everyone that showed up in Richmond, Virginia today. Y'all did a good job. Y'all stood firm on the streets, did not comply by giving up your weapons. A few did, but the message was clear. But that message will not go no further if we don't carry it back into our home states. We have to come back. I know I wasn't there in Virginia because tomorrow in my state, we're voting on our first 2A sanctuary county in Scott County, Arkansas. So some things are more important. My state at this point in time is more important for me to stand and fight for. But I commend everyone. But now that you're back home, or you're headed back home, I want you to start thinking about what you're going to do in your state, to prevent what we've seen taking place in Virginia. We need to use the momentum that was created today in a positive manner and carry it back into your state. Jacksonville, Mississippi. They had a great event down there today. Good job, fellas. Might not have had the amount of people that Virginia had, but it had the people of Mississippi standing for their rights, demanding that their state does not take up the rights or take up the bills that are being proposed right now in Virginia. So today was a great day to make it a true victorious day. It's up to every one of you that are watching these videos, not just mine, but all of them. It's up to you to carry that momentum into your state, into your local counties, into your local cities, and let it be known in numbers with your voice, just like what happened in Virginia today. Let it be known that you do not want that in your area. Get ahead of the problem. Bring the snakes to the surface so you can see who they are in the political realm of your local areas, and now you can get them out. But do not stand down. Do not go home and say we had a great victory and let that be it. Because that is not the victory. The victory is back to your state with you today. That's the true victory of today. We will see on a political realm how victorious it truly was. And I pray to God that what happened today sent a message that ripples throughout the states like Kentucky and other states that are trying to take not just your Second Amendment right, but your Constitution away from you. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m., Scott County, Arkansas, courthouse. If you're anywhere within a 2-hour to 3-hour driving time from that area, I say be there and show support tomorrow for Arkansas's first Second Amendment sanctuary city or county. Because if we get one, we get 2. We get 2, we get 4. We get 4, we get 8. They multiply like dominoes. But it takes putting that action, using what happened today as a momentum to push forward and secure your freedom in your area before they try to take it. Several years we've been fighting a fight that has always seemed to be a step ahead of us. We're a step ahead if we take that advantage. You're right now in your state, in your local counties, you're a step ahead if you take that momentum from today into that county. Or are you going to let them catch up and get ahead of you once again? People of Virginia slipped up. And it wasn't nothing that happened just this last election cycle. Slipping within the political realm in Virginia for a long time. Complacency of just voting and letting the politicians take over. And that's where we come to what we've seen happen today. Now, are you willing to stop it in your area before they take it from everybody? And like I said, this is not a matter of Second Amendment rights. This is a matter of your rights, your freedoms. And it's not just constitutional freedoms. It's God-given freedoms that He gave us. The piece of paper, the Constitution, does not dictate that freedom. It only says that it recognizes our God-given rights. But if we do not stand for them, they become privileges within our land, no longer rights by the legal system. And that's what's happening today. We have allowed a progressive movement since the day of Abraham Lincoln to sweep across our nation, and now socialism or communism has taken over aspects that is beyond repercussion at this moment. There's not enough people standing up and taking these politicians out of office by voting in real patriots of America. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I've been missing saying anything to you, but my screen's kind of doing that scrolling thing on a constant basis where it just keeps scrolling names over and over and over again. So if I don't say hi to you or answer your message or whatever, understand that I'm not seeing it. So I'm just going to keep talking. That's what I'm on here for. I'm on here to talk about today what you can do tomorrow to save your freedoms in your states. The VDSL, whatever their initials are, you go to their pages. They've got documentation after documentation on how you can download and take it to your sheriffs and your constables of your counties and your areas and try to see if you can get it implemented or sponsored through them. They've got all kinds of information on how you can fight for your Second Amendment. But while you're doing so, make sure to remind them about your Fourth Amendment, your First Amendment, and the rest of the Bill of Rights and the Constitution that they're supposed to uphold. Because what he's done up there in Virginia was not just against your Second Amendment. It was also against your freedom of privacy, search and seizure, due process, freedom of speech. Several of your freedoms, what he was trying to accomplish. And hopefully we had enough people to stand today up there and enough people across America in their areas speaking out that we can stop or at least slow down what he's trying to get pushed. Because that is the true globalist agenda of United Nations Agenda 2030. What they're trying to implement in Virginia right now is Agenda 2030, folks. It's the finalization of 21, which is small gun confiscations, into Agenda 2030. Pay attention. It's more than just your gun rights. It's more. Much, much more. And we have to pay attention to all of it, not just one aspect. I held off saying anything about Virginia until right now. No matter what the outcome today was, it makes a difference what you do tomorrow morning when you wake up, what you do in your area. That's what's going to make the difference. All today was a boost to get you going. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Mark Russell, all freedoms. Right now, people in America do not know what freedom is anymore. We have lost the knowledge of freedom in America. We are fighting for the idea of freedom. That's what we're fighting for. Because true freedom was lost in America years ago when people sat back and allowed someone like Abraham Lincoln to divide the nation the way he did. I'm so sick of people talking about Abraham Lincoln being some glorious, never tell a lie, super patriot, Republican, yada, yada, yada. People got to understand. Abraham Lincoln was socialism brought to our nation. And we've been fighting it ever since. Virginia is just an example of what they've been fighting for. Yes, all freedom is at stake. I'm seeing his. I see Jim still. Well, Jim, that's it. You need to keep fighting it. Get the word out. Use this platform here. Use Facebook instead of using it for drama, trying to poke gigs at people to get them mad at you. Trying to make videos to call someone out for this or that. Instead of doing that, use Facebook for what it's for, folks. This is a networking tool. That's what this is. You want to save this country? Use the and save this country. In other words, sit back and play your games, do your childish behaviors, and lose every freedom you got. I am so agitated in seeing childish people get on Facebook on a daily basis and do nothing but talk about drama subject after drama subject. They beat dead horses in the ground. And what are they doing? They're losing their freedoms 1 minute at a time. One signature at their freedoms while they think they're doing something good by trying to stir some kind of crap pot. So let's start getting real, folks. Virginia was a wake-up. Your state is next if you don't do something. Tomorrow, Arkansas, Lord willing, we will have our first 2A sanctuary city. And by the end of the month, Lord willing, we'll have 2 more. and it will grow. Why? Because the people in Arkansas have been fighting for their rights to bear arms, have been fighting for their Second Amendment with Act 746, and many other small groups throughout Arkansas have been fighting for their rights here. We haven't laid down and let them sign them away. But we still have to fight. We cannot stop. Your state. I hear people talking about Texas. Texas? Y'all better pay attention to what's going on down there. You know, California done lost their rights to bear arms. Many other states and cities, you're losing, and you're losing. You're compromising out. But you're not standing. You're not saying nothing. They don't hear you. Today they heard the American gun owner's voice. You understand? That's what happened today. They heard the voice. They haven't felt the power of that voice. They just heard it. The power comes to what you do with this voice tomorrow, the next day, and the next, and the next, and be persistent with what you do. Now the group Highwaymen, everything we do, we have put God first. We're putting Him first. We're making sure that God is what's ahead for us. He is protected more than our Second Amendment, more than anything else. God must be protected in this country. So March 21st, mark it down, folks. Anyone within the Arkansas area, definitely mark it down. March 21st, we're going to be having a great event. It's God first, family and country. And we've got some great speakers from here in Arkansas, from outside the state. Our keynote speaker will be Pastor Greg Locke. Can't wait to hear what he has to say about putting God first back in this country, how the Christians need to get up and do more than what they're doing. The message that day is going to be something we all need to hear. So if you can make that, watch for the event, watch for the flyers to be out, and we will be getting that information out soon. But that's what we're doing. You know, I haven't been on Facebook doing a lot of videos lately. I've been doing things. Been pushing information, been talking to different folks, trying to get things done. Sometimes Facebook only slows you down, so you have to get off of it. Sometimes it can be used in a great manner and push what you're trying to do much further. But sometimes it'll slow you down. And with the drama situation and all the backstabbing that I see in different areas throughout Facebook communities, it was slowing us down. We had to step back off of Facebook and work our area. Work and figure out how we're going to go about this fight that's truly at hand. Because understand, it may be your Second Amendment today, but just a few short years ago, it was just a flag. A year or so later, it was just a monument. Today, it's just your guns. Tomorrow is, just your Bible. See how the progression continues if we don't stand up against it? We're at war in this country, but it's not the same war that a lot of people have in their minds. The war we are at is a true war of good and evil inside these country boundaries. This war has been going on for many, many centuries, millennial. But today it's on our soil. It's in our back door. And it's up to you and I to fight this. It's not about a constitutional freedom any longer. That Constitution means nothing if you take God out. Remember that. It's only a piece of paper. I've got a flyer I've already got put together, but I've got something I want to talk to you about drawing for me, Jake. Just get with me in the next couple of days on that. That's right, James. I mean, we have to. It's no longer about what was written on parchment, what men fought and died for at that time. It's no longer just about that. It's about the freedoms that brought them to that moment that we are today under attack of, being stripped away from us. That parchment was them saying that they recognize God-given, a divine-given right that can no longer be taken, that cannot be taken away from any man for any reason. And this is what we're putting as our base law. But you take God out of it, that base law is meaningless. It's meaningless. Today, I felt proud to watch, and yes, I did. I watched today. I watched what happened and what went on in Richmond, and I was proud to see American people coming together. But I was also disappointed, and I'm not going to lie. I was very disappointed at the fact that we, not just me, Billy, and a couple of others, but we, the American patriot community, has been screaming for years that this is coming and that they're going to be trying to take our freedoms, that they're writing laws against our freedoms, and it's went unnoticed until today, until Northam started talking about putting these bills in to take their Second Amendment right. See where I'm at? There's more rights, more privileges that has been taken away than just the second. We cannot focus on one and win this battle of freedom in this country. We have to focus on true God-given rights and stand up and protect them all as one. That's the only way we are going to do anything positive after today out of what y'all did today, or what they did today in Virginia, is to take it back to your hometowns. Whether you're in Virginia or you're in Hawaii, take it back to your hometown and demand that they write preservation laws or whatever you have to stop any of this socialist or globalist dictatorship stripping you of your freedoms. Remember, they don't work for us. I mean, we don't work for them. They work for us. You know, they are not the rulers or the leaders of America. You and I, the poor folk, the common man, the working class, we are the leadership of America that tells what we want. The vote we use is only part of the voice we have. That vote must be used correctly, but your voice has to be used behind that vote, or you've wasted it all. What's that, James? Support local. Everybody wants to speak and vent. Is good. Fill people out. Yeah. Well, I mean, dialogue, James. Dialogue. Anyone that knows me, that has ever listened to me speak or me talk to anyone, understands that I'm a firm believer in, we must have dialogue. Don't matter if we agree ever on anything. We must have dialogue and discuss it to come to a resolution. But without dialogue, it becomes an argument, which becomes a fight, which fights end up with one side winning everything. Everything. And not one side will always win. Well, I mean, Arkansas is full of corrupt politicians. I know that firsthand. I've watched it. For the last 35 years, I've paid attention to the politics around, and it's nothing but corrupt. Good man said years ago, my dad, that if an honest man ever enters into a political office, he will never be honest again. Yep. And I believe it. I've been proving that over and over. Well, I just wanted to come on tonight because I've been quiet. I haven't said nothing about Virginia one way or the other. We have, every one of us out here that did say something, whether it was in the background or publicly, about the fears of the threats of choke points and possible catastrophe and this and that. There's legitimacy behind all of that. We have seen corrupt governments cause mass violence and chaos and injuries right there in Virginia. We were in Charlottesville. We seen firsthand corrupt government creating a situation to get their agenda. So yes, people that spoke last few days, few weeks about what they've seen, what they've been hearing, how they felt about the situation, don't condemn them for what they've said. Especially if they have been part of some of this corrupt government in these cities, have been affected by it. I mean, like I said, Charlottesville, right there in Virginia, proved to the American people that corruption can create a situation to push an agenda. And they don't care even if someone dies. They will use that for their agenda. That's all they're after. So when I heard people talking about this, you know, they knew they were going to be police snipers here, there. Watch out for this spot because there's only one way in, one way out. Don't go inside the gates. Do this, don't do that. Watch out for the Antifa coming. They had legitimate information. Don't be one of those patriots that's quick to judge because it's something that, well, it might not sound quite the same as the information you just got. Do your research. And if you have to, reach out to that person and ask them, hey, what do you mean by it's a trap? I'm sure they'll explain to you what they mean. Then you can discuss it. Well, I'm going to get off here, folks. I'm starting to get a scratchy throat. I've had this cough for a few days. But I wanted to come on tonight after everything was settled from Virginia and speak about what I thought about even before today had even began. about Virginia and what the possibilities of the outcome is. The only positive and victorious outcome that I'm going to finish this off with, if you get back home and get into your state and you stay strong with the same enthusiasm as you did driving all the way across the nation, if you have that same enthusiasm at home, you will be victorious in the end. But I know a lot of people that was there in Virginia, when they get home, they're going to go back to work, and that's going to be the last of it. They're going to hoorah, rah, I came across 100,000 patriots on Monday, and we were all carrying guns, hoorah, rah. And if that's all it is, you've already lost. You've lost. You wasted your money, and you've lost your freedom. You get home and you start pushing that county sheriff, you start pushing the constable, the city board, the county quorum courts. You start pushing those with that same enthusiasm you had driving across the nation. They'll start paying attention across the nation. These states will stop pushing so hard. But Godspeed, everyone. Remember, March 21st. Watch for the event. We will be coming out with the event in the next 3 weeks or so. And once we get everything final established, now it's ready to get the wording, get it up, and all that good stuff. So Godspeed.